Oh, there you go. Now the audio is on. That would have helped quite a bit, right? Okay, everybody, welcome to our channel, Threefold Life. I'm George Bakaloff, your host. I'm delighted that those of you who have tuned in were able to do so. This was a pretty short notice, and to be honest, I am experimenting a little bit, experimenting with several things. So number one, experimenting with our YouTube channel. YouTube channel has been around for a while, but there are only, I don't know, a little over 60 people who have subscribed. I haven't really spent much time, to be honest. I haven't really done a whole lot to develop the channel. But that will be changing. I will be streaming, going forward, I will be streaming a lot more, and we'll be uploading videos as well. So what I want to do is I want to share with you something. Now, this has to do with studying the Bible, and I would encourage as many people to study the Bible, read the Bible, study the Bible. There's a difference between reading and studying. So I want to encourage you, of course, if you love Scripture, to continue to do what works for you. If something works for you, just continue doing that. If you're growing, if you're spiritually growing, that's fantastic. But this might be a good way to upgrade what you've got going on currently. Now, if you're one of the people who are not doing much at all, that's fine too. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the Blue Letter Bible and a couple of things. So number one, if you aren't subscribed to our channel, go ahead and click on the subscribe link, because I will be posting new videos that I hope will be helpful to the subscribers. Secondarily, visit our website, threefold.life. I have not been developing the website, but that will be changing as well. And lastly, leave some comments and share the stream if you like it, if you enjoy it. All right. So I remember the days when I bought this, and I really should have brought it here to show you a large Strong's Concordance, huge Strong's Concordance way back in the early 90s when I was just getting started with studying the Bible. And that's what we used to have. We used to have paper concordances, printed concordances. Today we have online tools, and a lot of people are spending a lot of money on online tools that they, don't need to spend. And I understand that it takes resources to publish. I understand it takes resources to develop these tools, and that's fine. But you have something available for free right now online that's really high quality. And that's what we're going to look at today. So let's move on to the screen here that has to do with that. It's the Blue Letter Bible. Now, I had known about the Blue Letter Bible for a while, but just recently, as I was in one of my classes, Hebrew classes, I was surprised when one of the instructors, and she's Jewish, she recommended this highly, and it just came back to me. Basically, I'd known about it, but I'd never really given it much thinking, because I have been using the Olive Tree Bible Study for many years. It has the Hebrew, it has the Greek, it has a lot of things. So why would I care, right? Or the other very known tool is BibleHub.com. But I want you to take a look at the Blue Letter Bible, because it has a ton of features. It's completely free. And yes, you can support them also online, but it has so many features. So I want to show you this and how easy it is to use the Blue Letter Bible. You don't have to spend a dime. Really, honestly, you don't have to spend a dime on Bible software, because the Blue Letter Bible does it all, okay? So let's just do something very simple. Let's just go to Genesis, and I'm going to show you some of the features. Chapter 1. Let's just start with the most famous and well-known verse. So you type Genesis chapter 1, and it pulls this, this screen, and I want you to see something here. So first of all, here on this bar here, it shows you the current version, and the default version is King James Version, right? On the right here, you can change the font size. A lot of choices here. So you can make it smaller, you can make it bigger, right? You can open this bar or column rather, on the right hand side where you have like partners, you have more searches, you have multiverse. Personally, I don't make a whole lot of use of this right side right hand menu, so I just get rid of it. And this way you have a nice clean view of your main chapter or verse or whatever you're studying. And you're going to need this real estate. You're going to need this, all right? So that's the first thing I wanted to show you, which it took me a while. It would always default to this, and I was like, man, what is this doing here? I like my space clean and nice and big. All right, the next thing I want to show you here is how to change your version, and you have a couple of options. So you can click on this tiny menu here, and it opens up the different versions that are available. King James Version, New King James Version, and so forth and so on, right? My favorite is the Hebrew Names Version, and I want to just promote this right away. I will do a separate video on the Hebrew Names Version, and then once you choose that, okay, you have to click on this little play button, and then it does the whole thing. And then it changes the version, and now it's going to refresh the screen, and you have the Hebrew Names Version, and as you can see here, for example, in English, it would say, the earth was formless and empty. This one says, the eretz was formless and empty. And so it has some terms transliterated from Hebrew to English, and that's kind of cool. It really is very cool. Now, for some of you, your brain might be pretty callous and you don't want to deal with this. I understand. But for those of you who like to challenge your brain and who like the actual verses, the actual, if you like the actual words, the original words that are closer to Hebrew or straight from Hebrew, that's a good way to go about it. Now, here's another way you can change. You can just click on the large button here, and you can go down the list of translations, and then you can choose, let's just say we want NET. Again, it will refresh, and there you go. Okay, so now if you're at the bottom of the page and you've gone down, you can just click on Return to Top, and it will take you straight to the top. Let's keep moving further. If you want a link, an easy way to get the link for this page, whatever this page is. So if you're looking at the chapter, for example, right now you're looking at Bereshit, chapter 1, Genesis chapter 1, you're on this page. To get the exact link, instead of going here and double clicking and right clicking and saying copy, you just go link. There's the link, shortened, click copy, and let's look how it looks. Like you go paste and go. Look at this, it's short, nice and short, and it opens up that same link. Okay, so that's really nice. Now, here's another cool feature. You've opened, let's say, to Genesis 1:1. All right, let's open this verse. Now, this is something I want to show you later, so I'm just jumping ahead of myself, right? And let's just hide this. This is not fair, right? Let's just stay on the chapter page. If you want to cite this is really kind of cool. If you want to citation for your scholarly work or whatever, click on this, and it gives you the different scholarly formats or journalistic formats, the MLA, the APA, the Chicago format. Okay, so these are really cool. All you do is copy, and it pulls up the chapter, the version, the link, and you can insert this in any serious publication, right? So that's kind of cool. Print will attempt to print a PDF version of this, or send this straight to printer. I have not tested the print version. I'm not sure how exactly it works. I am big on printing. I like to print stuff, so I really can't speak to this right now. Now let's move a little bit to the second here, to the second layer, to the second bar. This is the previous book. Obviously, there is no previous book before Genesis. In the beginning was Genesis, and Genesis is the beginning of everything. So there's no previous book. But if we click on the next book, it will take us, of course, to Exodus, right? Okay, let's go back. The other control here is the next chapter, so it will take us to Genesis chapter 2. All right, let's go back to Genesis chapter 1. Now here is really probably the best from the second bar menu. Let's go to copy. If you copy here right now, if you just use this, I'm not actually sure what this does, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure what this does. But let's just say you're in Genesis 1, all right? And you want to copy this verse. So what you want to do is copy options. And this is a pretty big one, okay? You want to choose your copy options. Every time you want to copy a verse, you can set these copy options here. And what you can do is choose how the software will pull the quotation and in what order. If you prefer a certain order, for example, I like the verse, and then I like the chapter, I like the actual text, and then the chapter and the verse, and then the version. So let's just go. Verse reference, reference verse, separate line, verse only. Okay, so let's just say verse reference, right? Then it tells you, it gives you an option to choose what kind of delimiters you want, square, curly, and so forth and so on. I like square, right? Then if you're copying an entire paragraph, you also make a choice. So it's verse reference. I always like the verse and the reference. So it's line by line, paragraph, right? How do you want the numbers, right? How do you want the numbers for the verses? I want the square ones, right? So we have that. Actually, no delimiter, okay? And then how do you abbreviate the books? So these are great options here for those of you who have to do a lot of quotations. And yes, I want those abbreviated. So now what happens is basically it will, once you have this and you want to copy it, you click here, right? You click here for a single verse, and then you say copy, and whatever you've chosen in the copy options, it will pull it from there. So whatever you've chosen here, once you click on that verse, you say, I want to copy that verse. You click on that verse, you say copy, right? And now everything is copied. Let me pull a pad here. Let me pull this notepad and show you. Oh, well, I can't really show you because that requires, how do I do that? I wonder. Okay, give me just 1 second here. I didn't think about that. We'll share this screen pretty quickly here with you. Bear with me. All right, let me add another share screen. Window capture. Okay. And here's the notepad. There we go. Perfect. That was pretty fast, right? All right. Here's the notepad. Okay. And here's how you just copied something and did exactly what I asked for it to do. Okay. It pulled up the hold on. Give me 1 sec here. Right. So where is it? Okay, here it is. So it pulled the verse. Oh, this is actually, yeah, this is the first verse of Genesis 1. In the beginning created the heavens and the earth, and then it pulled up my square delimiters, right? There is no delimiter for the numbers. This is this thing here, right? This is this choice. And then it said abbreviate the book. Here it is, book is abbreviated. And then you have the chapter, the verse, this is how we've chosen it to be, and the Bible version, okay? And so let's see what happens if you go for several verses, okay? So you go 1, 2, and say I want to select several verses. You have like 3 verses. And then you copy, and again, okay, you go, let's see, let's paste now. And now, there it is. It pasted it. And see, there are now verses. Now, let's say you want, these are not nice. This is not really nice because if you're going to copy and paste several verses, like why would you want these numbers here, right? So let's say I don't like this. You go back to copy options and you say no numbers. No numbers here, right? Now you memorize this. So now let's copy again this. I'm going to go back and paste it again. Paste it again. And now we have the text pasted. The text is clean without the numbers, but it gives you the citation. It gives you the chapter, the verse, how many verses, and the version. So that's pretty cool, right? All right, very good. So let's see. What else do we have here? Let's leave this pad here. It might be useful later on with something else. But I want to show you, I want to get this done in no more than half an hour, so I appreciate your time. I don't want to keep you too long. And of course, you can go to this website, to Blue Letter Bible, and click around. Okay, I'm just kind of, maybe this will save you some time. Who knows? All right, let's do something else. So now you've learned how to do this, how to highlight and so forth, so on. Select verses, set your copy options. Now, if you create an account with Blue Letter Bible right here, right? If you create an account and let me just log in with my account, right? If you've created an account, then all of your options will be remembered. And next time you come, you won't have to set those options, because if you haven't created an account, you can't like set certain defaults and your favorites and so forth and so on. So it's a very I'm so sorry. Oh wow, the sound just cut out. I'm so sorry. Okay, this experiment is. I was just told by someone on Telegram. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Well, my experiment is not going so well. This is actually showing me something that I need to work on. I need to work on paying attention to my audio. I'm sorry about that. This video will be redone, guys. Thank you, Mike, for letting me know. I was completely unaware that the audio was muted for my yeah, completely unaware that the audio was muted. So there you go. Thank you. That helps to know that helps to have audience that is responsive. Okay. Oh, here YouTube is also popping up with all sorts of ideas and suggestions and so forth and so on. Okay, very good. Thank you, Mike. So this is part of the exercise. This is part of the exercise. Okay. Very good. All right, let's just jump back here. This is an experimentation. So the point I'm trying to make here, and I'll go back here so you can hear me. So you're at a specific verse and you want to study that verse, right? Why? This is the Blue Letter Bible. To my knowledge, is the only online tool that will allow you not only to look at the transliteration. For example, you will see in Hebrew how it says here Reshit, right? And you're like, well, do you pronounce it Reshit or Reshit, or how do you pronounce this in the beginning, right? And so here we have a little audio button, right? And what I've done now is I have allowed the desktop audio to be in the background to be on. So I'm gonna, I think you're gonna be able to hear it. So you can click on this little audio and it will say pronounce the Hebrew root for Bereshit.
Strong's H 7225. Reshith, Reshith. Second entry. Reshith, Reshith.
How cool is that, right? Let's go to Elohim.
Strong's H 430, entry 1. Eloach. Eloach.
Okay, let's.
Second entry. Elohim. Elohim.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Strong's H 1254. Bara. Bara.
Okay, so this guy has a great pronunciation in Hebrew. The r is a hard r, so it's very easy for me to pronounce because in Bulgarian we pronounce the r the same way. So it's bara. Or if you are Jewish from the European part, you would say bara with a sound that comes from the throat. Bara, right? But you can just say bara. Just don't do the English bara, right? That's completely wrong. That's just anglicized. So the original would be bara, just like the way he pronounces it. Let's go look at the words heaven, Shemaim.
64. Shemayim. Shemayim.
Shemayim. Shemayim, right? So that's pretty cool. So basically, you're looking at the Hebrew. Each and every word has the Strong's a link to the Strong's in-depth definition, right? It has the Hebrew spelling, it has the transliteration, and it has an audio. And notice this is the Masoretic text, and I can't get into the Masoretic text, but that's the best text to go by. Now, here it says the Septuagint. Now, the Masoretic text is the original Hebrew text, right? This is the oldest manuscript version of the Hebrew. That's what it's pulling all this from. The Septuagint. Now, the Septuagint was a translation that was done by rabbis for the library in Alexandria. And it was done in Hebrew, in Greek. So now, if you care to hear these exact same words in how, like for example, theos. Now, we don't really care about theos, but you can hear those words in Hebrew. Okay, let's move on. Here's the next one. You have Bibles, and here are the different comparative translations of the different versions. Now, there are other tools online that have more translations, but frankly, who cares? These are the best translations, and they have really done a good job at putting those together. Let's look at cross-references. This all has to do with the first verse. In the beginning, Elohim created the heaven and the earth. So you have some cross-references, and you can examine these different cross-references. Commentaries. And of course, you have all these different commentaries different authors here who have written all about Genesis 1. Let's just go. I'll tell you what is the best probably commentary. Matthew Henry, it's okay, but I'll tell you which one is really, really rich and really, really, it's probably one of the few ones that I don't have it here. It's the International Standard Encyclopedia, I believe it's called. Give me just 1 second. I don't see it here in these commentaries. Dictionaries. And let me say something about the King James Version. The Strong's. Strong's Concordance is not the concordance that scholars use. You need to know this. Driver Briggs is the one that scholars use. So it's okay for amateur research, and it's still helpful. I still use it. But just so you know, Driver Briggs is the tool that scholars are using and quoting. That is the scholarly tool when it comes to concordances. So you have dictionaries, and these dictionaries are kind of like, again, interpretation of what certain things mean. And the last one here, you have miscellaneous. You have maps. People have created maps. You have different social media. Like if you wanted to post something online about Genesis 1, you click on this little, like a graphic, and you can share this graphic online and, get popular, make the Bible popular with people. Okay. So let's go back to our main panel here. Again, here you have the main search. I'm going to go. Well, again, I found out my audio disappeared, so much for my practice. This will be done again. I'll have to redo this again. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I hope you learned something, and my apologies for the technical issues here. I will be paying attention more. I'm practicing. I'm getting better at this. Appreciate your kindness and bearing with me, and talk to you soon.